Ryan Roberts here with Coach Ruthsatz at Covcath. Coach, you guys are coming off a region championship runner-up. Just talk about the progression of the team over this summer.
Yeah, I think the kids, they all bought in with what we did, over the last couple of years, and it's, kind of a cleansing of some sort, but I think the kids all bought in. We definitely got in the weight room a lot more than we had in the last 2 years of moving the kids down, down to ASAP, and that's really helped them. I think their confidence just being real physical. And over the course of the summer, we played a really good, in some really good team camps, and we really competed well against some really, really good teams, and which was happy for me to see, especially the younger guys coming up. The guys, they didn't get so much time. The sophomores become juniors, and you want to see where they're going to be, but I'm very happy with where we're at right now.
You lose to a key senior class from last year, including Zach Tobler, who's a walk-on at Cincinnati, and Nick Frederick, who's down at Bellarmine. Just talk about some of the key players returning.
I think everything starts with us, with Nick at the point. He kind of makes, he's the engine that makes us run. He can score. We're going to move him off the ball a little bit more this year than we have in the past, but he kind of gets us going. He's a very good passer, although we haven't seen it in the previous 2 years just because he's had to score so much for us. But what I really like is our seniors. Other than Nick, we have Nate Wickman, who's just an energy guy. He's coming off of an ankle injury, but he's progressing really well. Ben Hepler, who filled in for Nick Frederick last year when he had some injuries, does really well, can really shoot it, and has really kind of picked up his defense over the last few weeks. Mark Schultz, known for hitting the three-pointer against Newcath, but he's really, I'm telling you, from where he was as a sophomore today is just simply amazing. It just shows you what hard work can do, and just will grind it out. And lastly, we have Bo Shu is a junior, and he's really progressed. He's really playing well. He elevates well. He's on the boards, and really does a lot of the good things for us. I know I forgot the other senior that I forgot about was Parker Keller. Backup point guard, really does whatever we want, out there defending. You'll see a lot of him this year just with his energy he brings, settles our team down, but has really progressed as a sophomore to today. Also junior-wise, we have a kind of a trio. We have Matthew Shoemate, a good shooter. We have Grant Romas, who's kind of a slasher, physical type guy, pretty athletic, and Cooper Theobald, who's kind of a long, kind of an athletic guard, not really a point, not really a two, kind of somewhere in between. Those guys have all those trio has played really well together. And then also another sophomore that we have is Will Hepler. We really like where he's at. Will really hasn't played since his 8th grade year. He was out all last year with a knee injury, and he's really progressing well, and no injuries, nothing that we could speak of there. And then Cole Von Handorf, who's a freshman, played for Villa last year, comes in with a lot of experience, plays at a very high level on the AAU circuit, kind of filling the role of another scorer, but he also knows the game really well and just plays within himself at all times. So that's kind of our lineup right now of where we see it, and very happy with the progression right now.
Coach, just talk a little bit about the strengths and weaknesses of this year's team.
The strengths would be the 5 seniors that we have. This is the first year I've had 5. In the past, the most I've had is 3 in the previous 2 years. Really, if they are not gone by now, they're sticking around for the long haul, and it's really a cohesion of the attitude that we want down there. It's tough-minded, relentless, just going to work, try to outwork you at all times, and I really think that kind of sets the foundation for us. It's one of our strengths for sure. I think the other strength that we have is our bench. We really, we really could go 10 deep. Not that I'm going to play always that, but I'm not like years in the past where you kind of look down and you say, maybe not, because we just don't want to put him in a situation where he's not going to be successful. These guys were all out all summer long playing with us against really good competition, and that just lends itself to being able to play them now against some better competition.
You guys are playing a really tough schedule this year. For those who aren't familiar with it, just talk about who you're playing and how that helps you for a postseason run.
Yeah, we originally had Lexington Catholic as our opener, but we had to move that due to scheduling conflicts. But we open up at Moeller. We also play like Whitten Woods, Cincinnati St. Xavier, Louisville St. Xavier. I just thought it was imperative for us to keep going with where we're at as a program. I think to really good competitors want to play against really good teams. In win or lose, we're going to learn something about ourselves in those games, and I think it just lends itself to later on in the season, especially when you get to postseason play. We will have seen just about every type of team, out there, and so we shouldn't be surprised by much once we get into the postseason.
Lastly, Coach, let's talk about expectations for this year's group.
Yeah, I think that this year we're taking it one game at a time. We're getting a lot of. I think the kids have bought into the program, but they also buy into getting better each game, and I think that's the big part. I said we don't mind losing games in December and January as long as they're getting us somewhere in February and March. So I think the kids are buying in. I think that they realize that there's going to be some bumps along the road, but it's all about how we react to those and kind of how we turn those weaknesses that we have out of those games into strengths.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time and good luck this year.
All right, thanks, Ryan.